What up, what up, what up, what up? It's AK the Apostle. Let's talk sports, y'all. Now listen, I know y'all heard the rumblings. Now some of the criticism that the boys getting is warranted to come with the territory, but Richard Sherman, Ceedee Lamb overrated. Y'all doing too much. Y'all doing too much. At the end of the day, yes, it was a must win for the Cowboys. Yes, it was a big game because it meant more to the Cowboys than the 49ers, obviously, because this is a team that put them out 2 years in a row. And obviously, this was a measuring stick to see where the team was for the system because everybody sees the machine and how the 49ers are playing. But some of this, what we're doing, everybody, okay, it's Wednesday. Calm down. Because at the end of the day, it is only one game. Yes, admit some games you circled on the schedule that mean more than others, but at the end of the day, it's only week 5. It's only week 5. There's a lot of things to fix. There's a lot of things to work on. It's a lot of season to play. But to call Ceedee Lamb overrated, now Micah's overrated. Come on, we're not doing that. You know what I mean? We're not talking football anymore. That's fandom type stuff. I get it. He don't like the Cowboys for whatever reason, and a lot of people don't like the Cowboys for whatever reason. But the Ceedee Lamb, Micah Parsons slander, stop. He has a body of work. Last year was his first year as a number one ever, and he came in top 6 across the board. Last year he was rated a top 6 receiver in the league. As first year as a number one as a number one. So regardless of where they lined him up at, no matter whatever, his stats is his stats. The numbers is the numbers, because that's what y'all basing it on. Anybody you're gonna say that's better than him, you're gonna base it off their numbers, correct? So don't say his numbers don't add up because they force feed him the ball when they didn't. When they didn't force feed him the ball. He made plays when it was time to make the plays. He had a big game against the same team in the playoffs last year. We get it, his last year. But to say the guy's overrated, stop. He's a young player. He has to learn. He has to grow. Man, he's still on his rookie contract for crying out loud. He ain't even been in the league 4 years yet. Let the man grow. But to say he's overrated, that's too much. Same thing for Micah Parsons. He's a young, strong, talented player. He's going through. It's an emotional loss for him. As a team, it was a humongous loss. It was a devastating loss. But let the youngin cry out. He's crying out. He didn't take it well, and that's fine. Debo has every right to brag. Fred Warner has every right to brag. Everybody on the 49ers, Kyle Shanahan, they have every right to brag. They handed us our lunch pail. It's okay. But let's not get to talking crazy, y'all, about people being overrated and this, that, and the third that happens. Let's keep just right now with the big injuries that's going on with the Cowboys. Monday's night game with San Diego is going to be a real tough out, and it's a lot to work on to get ready for this game. Now, what needs to happen? What needs to happen? I've been saying it. I've been saying it since Trey went down. You're going to have to start incorporating those younger corners in the game. You're going to have to bring them out there. The younger DBs, the safeties that you got on the field right now are getting torched. They're not fast enough. They're not athletic enough. They're just getting burnt. And their technique for these last few games has been bad. I mean, they're not. I mean, people are running down the field wide open. You gotta put the younger guys on the field. It's time for Israel. I mean, Israel, for crying out loud, Israel Matumluga played in 2 playoff games last year, and he was guarding Chris Godwin and Debo Sanders. He had a great playoffs. Put the kid in the game. Eric Scott, he looked good in preseason. Granted, it's on preseason, but he can't do no worse than what's going on out there. And those guys can play both positions. They can play safety or corner. You have to incorporate them. You have to dress them. You have to incorporate them, because what we have out there now is not getting it done. It's not getting it done. You know what I'm saying? Like that last touchdown with the last touchdown by George Kittle. I get it, Jordan Bell. Jordan Lewis. It may not have been your guy, but if you see George Kittle coming down the field and he's not blocking and he's running, you have to run with him. You know what I mean? That the fact that he kept running is a dead giveaway. You know what I mean? But I get it. It was a trick play. Looking in the backfield, he made a guy. But bottom line is, since Trayvon went down, the secondary is under attack, and it's changed the whole complex of the defense. Let's explain. Trayvon Diggs being out, now, the safeties have to drift back. When Trayvon was on the field and you had Gilly on the other side, and Trayvon could play, Trayvon could, pretty much run with his whatever receiver he was going on, it allowed the safeties to drop down in the box for the run. So a lot of those tricky plays wasn't there. And then you also allowed the, Donovan Wilson and guys like that to be part of blitz packages and things like that. But without Trayvon, they have to drift back because now they have to help the corners. So that changed the whole dynamic of the defense. But which leads me to say the same thing. You got to let the younger, bigger, stronger corners in the field because they can cover more ground. You know what I mean? It's harder to throw around an Israel Matumla because he's 6'4" and he got a wingspan. So let the young athletic corners play. Also, I'm gonna be honest, fans, you're gonna have to wait for Dak to have at least one more bad outing before the bells and whistles go off, and they may have to make a change. He's gonna get at least one more chance. They're not gonna bench him now. They're not gonna run him off because of that one game. But if he has another game like that, particularly against any of these games in these next 3 weeks, it's time to move on. Cooper, Trey, whatever you got to do, it's time to move on. Back at you with another one soon, aka the Apostle. Let's talk sports.